What's going on, y'all? It's the Marketing Main Podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and I'm here with my guest. Well,
I'm not the guest today, but I'm Avery. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
yeah, what's going on, Avery? How's your week going?
It's been going great, man.
Yeah, out of it, I guess. It's been a long day.
But for our special guest, actually,
this is the actual guest.
yeah.
We're joined by a legend.
Come on, man.
A legend. His name, when you hear this name, if you're from the Orlando area, if you're from the Central Florida area and you into real estate, you know.
If you're from Brevard County, you know who this
Brevard,
Sure.
Big Vard, this is the guy right here. Introduce you, man.
Nah, he gonna do it himself. He got the mic right there.
Most definitely, man. Appreciate you, fellas. It's your boy Lauren Wilder. I go by Low Wilder, and originally from Springfield, Massachusetts. Went to college at Hampton in Virginia, and moved to Orlando back in 2010. Been in Florida ever since, man. Just kind of moving around, but it's just good to be with y'all, man. Looking forward to this conversation.
No, likewise, man. I've been trying to get you on this show for so long. I'm like, damn, well, when am I gonna? Because we're doing this right now in Orlando, right? So for you to come all the way from Melbourne, I'm like, well, damn, I got to get him when he's here. Then I got to try to get Brian here. So I'm glad we got to do it today.
It's a lot of moving parts, for
Yeah,
sure.
no, for sure,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. I mean, for those that don't know
Yeah.
about you, I mean, you're a mortgage loan originator here at Fluent, along with Avery.
Yep.
But it's not just that. And as I said, that's something small. I mean, that's a big deal. You're helping people achieve their dreams. But
That's right.
what got you into mortgages?
Man, so for me, man, my story, it kind of goes back to, years ago, right before COVID. I was selling paint for one of the top paint manufacturers, and things were going well, right? It's like everybody that's on that 9 to 5, and I was like looking at moving up the ladder, and just one thing after another. I always knew I wanted to be my own boss, have my own business, have my own company. And we're with Fluent Mortgage, but what people don't know is you're pretty much your own boss, right? You have a brokerage that you hang your license with,
Yep.
but Loans with Low, right? The mortgage lender is pretty much my brand. And so, but I got into the mortgage business. I had a couple friends that was in the mortgage business. And for me, things just went left with the corporate. I was just tired. I made so much bonus money. It broke the bonus structure. You know what I mean? Like, 6-figure bonus checks, man, coming in quarterly, never been done by anybody, let alone a Black and Puerto Rican, right? So 2023 first quarter, I was due like let's just say $173,000, and they decided they wanted to change the bonus structure. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm out. Told my wife, what are we going to do? Let's move back. We was in Atlanta.
So you never got any of that money at all? Did you just mention that?
So that check, I didn't get one. I got $3,600 out of the $173,000. And I told them they could have that. I was like, hey, you could really have it. I don't want it, It was a slap in the face, right? You give this company, at that time, 12 years in the game, being in sales, management, I'm talking about training over hundreds of people, making them millions and millions of dollars. And I was like, you can't pay me the $173,000. So at that point, it was like, listen, let's make a move. Let's go back to Florida. Our church is there. And so my wife was like, let's go back. Her mom is there. So we moved back, and that's what happened. And then I got into the mortgage industry simply because I saw it as an opportunity to stay in business. And we'll get into my story a little bit, but I wanted to help families. And I got a mantra that I say, I help regular families create generational wealth by educating them, empowering them, and inspiring them to get into real estate.
I mean, you can't ask for anything better than that, right?
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I see you got the reward right there on your finger, though. Like,
That's it. Yeah.
I feel like you
Champion.
got that 173 somehow, some way.
Well, all right. So let's just say I made about in 2022. I was able to earn over $400,000 in bonus money. Now that I received that. Now Uncle Sam's gonna make sure he get that, right?
Right.
The ring that you see, I played football at Hampton University, and we're 3-time Black college national champions. And this is actually the final year that we are celebrating our 20th anniversary. So we won in 2004, 2005 and 2006. So we decided to get what is called a legacy ring, and so it has all three championships in the ring. And so I've been rocking it since I got it, a few months ago. And it's a great conversational piece, man. I go downstairs. We here in Orlando about to do a networking event. People see this big old ring. They're like, "Hey, you played in the NFL?" And I'm like, "Nah, but hey, I do mortgages. But let me tell you my story when we get talking."
What position you play?
I played offensive. I played center. I played offensive line, center, and guard.
Okay.
They kind of had me swinging, between left and right guard. Played some center, so I was able to snap the ball. Man, I was short, man. Being real, like I was short, so they had me inside in the interior line. Yep.
That's interesting. I didn't even know that about you.
Yeah.
I thought so I remember when he wore the ring at the last event, and I thought he just bought the ring because some people use it as a tactic to when you go to a networking event, you want to have on something different or like be a little spontaneous so you stand out to make people want to talk to you. So I thought he just bought that just so people could talk to him. And I was like, well, damn, I need to buy one too. It's just my fingers, they're not that big.
Not that big. That's it. Yeah. Nah, man. But we're gonna continue to rock it. For the remainder of the year, we got our homecoming and just gonna rock it. So, but yeah, bro, it's an honor, right? Because a lot of people want to go to the NFL, and for me, that was the dream. So I'll just dive into my story, right? Growing up in Springfield, Massachusetts, grew up in one of the challenging neighborhoods in the hood. People say don't call it the hood. I'm like, listen, it was the mud, man.
Go ahead, shout it out if you want
the
to,
ghetto,
man.
man.
Let
Springfield,
people-
Mass.
let them know.
Bristol Street, 413. And my mom was a hustler, like legit. Like she sold drugs. My mom sold cocaine. My mom sold crack. And growing up, it was like it was just this challenge, right? Living like basically the trap house, people coming in, coming out. And my father wasn't around. He was in and out of prison. I didn't even meet my biological father until the age of 24 years old. And so fast forwarding to my freshman year of high school, man, that's when my life turned upside down. Came home one day, the district, the DEA raided our apartment, and my mom was arrested. And eventually she was sentenced to 4 years. So all of my 4 years in high school, my mom was in prison. And I was instantly homeless. And then I moved in with a friend of mine his mom was like, you could stay here. She had 13 kids in the house. Father had 23 kids.
So wait, the mom had 14 kids.
She had
of her
13.
own?
She had 13
13
of her own.
and
Father
then the
had
father
23.
had 23 of his own.
Yeah,
And 13 lived in the house.
that's right.
So how many of them did they have? Like, that's a big
So
number. Dog.
so a big number. So I'll break it down, right? So when I moved in, it was 4 of us in one small room, smaller than this office that we're in right now, and it was 2 of the brothers that slept on the mattress that was on the floor, no bed frame, no headboard, right? And then one of the other brothers slept on the twin size mattress, on the floor, and I wasn't trying to sleep next to none of them cats.
Yeah.
So I just picked the spot, man. There was a bunch of clothes everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I just threw a bunch of clothes, boom, packed it down, and I slept on clothes for like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually upgraded to the mattress and whatnot. But when I became a junior in high school, you're getting bigger now, right? I'm a big guy. Brothers are bigger. You start getting girlfriends. People start taking your clothes. So it got a little hostile in there. And that's when I decided, man, I'm going to go get my own place. I was working 2 jobs at the time, playing high school football. And I decided, I was working at Walgreens. I worked for the electric company, had some money. I said, I'm going to get my own apartment. So I got my own apartment. And my senior year, won a bunch of different awards for being a high school senior, football star, with a, honor roll student. And people didn't realize, like, I was on my own. Like, my mom was in prison, and that got the attention of, actor, comedian, Dr. Bill Cosby. And so that's when everything changed my life, man. Got introduced to him.
So within this time frame, when you met Bill Cosby, like, how did he hear about your story? Or like, how did that part come about?
Yeah, very interesting. So I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, right? So we have the Basketball Hall of Fame. A lot of people don't know this. Fun fact, look it up. But Bill Cosby in the 70s played for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Really?
Yeah. And so the Basketball Hall of
Hold on, man. I'm
Fame,
about to look that up right
look
now.
it
while we
up,
doing
bro.
this.
Look it up. So Bill Cosby played for the Harlem Globetrotters, and he was being honored at the Basketball Hall of Fame. They were doing a locker exhibit for him. They were going to leave it there for a year. And Bill Cosby is one of them people that want to honor students, right? He's big on education. So he wanted to honor 12 senior high school males. You looked it up.
Yeah, FYI, guys, he's right. Yeah.
What year
It
was it?
says, so apparently he signed a lifetime honorary
For $1
$1
a year.
contract
Yep.
with the Harlem Globetrotters in 1972.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Basketball player, football,
I thought
track
he was
star.
just like,
Everybody think he's just a comedian, but he was a good athlete.
I seen him as a comedian, but I always kind of saw him. You ever seen on like social media, they'll have like the TV dads, like
Yeah.
for those people who didn't grow up with a dad, like that was our
He
TV.
was
That
the
was
dad.
our dad.
Yeah.
That's what I've always saw Bill Cosby to be.
For sure.
Like, you know what I mean?
It was like
Granted,
it was,
whatever happened in the future,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a
1000%.
complicated
Yeah,
story, don't you know?
complicated, man. The way I'm very biased, man, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But
Yeah.
you know, it's still my guy, man. So no matter what he did, you know, it's between him, God, and you know, and the victims, man. But for me, what he did for me, he gave me an opportunity to get out the ghetto. I would have stayed back home. I was involved with some cats like, you know, streets, man. Like, so even though I was, you know, going to school, smoking weed, got drugs, my mom was a dealer, like I had that hustle in me. Like, you know, I still had that hustle in me. I just sell a different product.
Do you feel like that's where your hustle like originated from?
Absolutely, man, 1000%. So what it started off with, you know, we were poor. My mom sold drugs, but she acted like we were on food stamps. But you know what I mean? But I'm like, nah, I see your money. Like, you got money, but to her, we ain't have money, right? So I had to like get this hustle, man. So it started out with as a youngster, just kind of, you know, I'm from up north. So it snows, I'm out there, yo, $5, $10, I'm shoveling snow. All right. I'm collecting cans, you know, beer cans, soda cans, 5 cents. I'm collecting cans, I'm raking leaves, whatever I gotta do to hustle. And then I just started selling different products, man. A lot of kids, man, I had what it was interesting fact. Now kids would call it like the fire stick, the jailbroken fire stick. Back then they had the hot box. So you had the little cable box that had pay-per-view, HBO and all that, and it was free. And I would record the video cassettes. I would put 2-3 movies that some kids can't get at the crib, and I'll sell it for $5, $10.
Oh, wow.
So I always had this hustle. You know, in me, I saw my mom as a hustler. My mom used to give me stacks of money and say, count these 20s. 20 20s is $400. So I'm like, bet. And then I was like, yo, 25 is 500. You know what I mean? And then 50 is 1,000. And it just always was good with numbers. And I'm, you know, the thing about business, the thing about hustle is that you got to be a people's person. And I always had that. You know, I go in the neighborhood. I was the big dude that cracked jokes, could freestyle a little bit, you know, made people laugh, made people feel good.
So
And
you was like the
so
Biggie of
I was like the
Massachusetts?
Biggie of Springfield. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it was all a dream. Yeah.
So your mom, you know, you said they raided the house and
Raided the
got it.
apartment.
She did time.
So she served 4 years in prison. And, you know, so what happens, it was a Friday night. I was skating with my best friends and she was supposed to pick us up. Now, my mom was one of the moms, if any of y'all know, she was always late. You know what I mean? Like the lights is, everybody went home, all the workers went home and we waited. And I see my uncle and he was there and we were still skating. Like it wasn't over yet, but I can see him. He looked a little sad and I'm a little concerned because I ain't never seen him like that. We got in the car, he dropped my friends off and he was like, yo, your mom got arrested tonight. And the house got raided. You know, my wife, my aunt got arrested with her. My sister got arrested with her and my cousin. So 4 of them all got arrested by the undercovers. Now, but she was the one that took the rap for everybody because she was the dope dealer. And so my mom's just like that, straight, you know, she covered, she's like, yo, this is all me, like, let them go. She served, you know, she gets arrested, and then that's Friday night, she spends a weekend in prison. Monday comes, they get released, you know, she's got all these charges. My mom did something smart. She went to the courthouse and had my sister sign over custody so that I couldn't get taken by like child services.
I meant to ask you about that too, because when you mentioned that you were alone when you were in high school, like how did you avoid that situation to when that didn't happen?
Correct. So she took custody of me, and when she took custody of me, that it was like I was covered, right? So mom, she, goes to for so one, for anybody that's ever been in that situation, it's a little embarrassing. I grew up in the project, so there was all these it's like townhomes. It was embarrassing. Yeah.
We lived in New York
No,
City.
no,
Like, we know.
nah. I'm not talking about living in the projects is embarrassing, but I'm saying when your house get kicked in by the feds
Oh yeah.
and you got to go back and all your friends that you played basketball and football with, and they like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? That's embarrassing.
It's crazy because it's like normally you hear the dad, but it's like your mom got
Your
arrested.
mom, you feel me? Like Mom Dukes, So it was like it was different, man. So I didn't want to go back. So I started staying. I started staying with my friend that had all the brothers and sisters. When my mom did the whole thing with custody, and then she ended up getting like they sentenced her for it was actually more than 4 years, but she served 4 years, got out on some good time. It was her first charge. She took the rap, she played guilty. She took
She took responsibility.
She took
for what
responsibility.
She did.
Yeah, she was facing like 20. She was facing like 20 years, and
Damn.
they only gave her, I think it was 5 or 6 years, and she served 4.
And what was her life like when she got out?
Yeah, so what happened is, different. So while she's in there, I'm staying at this house, right? But and then my father, I got adopted, but I didn't know this. So I'm looking for my dad, right, and his family, and I'm like, hey man, I'm playing football, coming to football games, nothing, and then I get introduced to my football coach in high school, who just changed it for me, man. He was like, listen, you're good at football. Everybody wanted to go to NFL. If you play football, you always wanted to go to the NFL. And that was my dream. But I didn't know you had to go to college first. You can't just go straight from high school. This ain't basketball. So he's like, you got to go to college, man. You're going to have to get, good grades. You're going to have to go to college. And so he's the one that kind of started to create this roadmap for me. And that's kind of what led the way. Now, I'm in high school. I got my own apartment. I'm getting all these scholarships. My mom gets released from prison right before I graduate. And that's when all the newspaper articles started coming out of me living in my own apartment, all these scholarships, right? And that's when Bill Cosby. So going back to that, the Basketball Hall of Fame, he was like, listen, I want to honor 12 high school seniors that face some type of adversity. So the Basketball Hall of Fame sent him the newspaper article of me and my best friend. That's when he got introduced. And so when she got out, I took off, man. I was on the Today Show, Good Morning America, started traveling and went to college.
And she was around you, like you throughout all
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Well, so she was on the ankle monitor, so she couldn't leave, the city. But I ended up going to school in Virginia. And so when I went to school in Virginia, played football down there, I would come home for the summer vacation.
Okay. And she's still with us today?
Oh yeah, still alive. Changed her life completely. When she got saved in the prison. Actually, when she came out, she was such a role model. They hired her at the corrections facility to be like someone to help with the women through the women prison, helping them with the release, pre-release.
Yeah.
So she ended up getting a job with the prison.
That's a big 360 turn. Like,
yeah, completely turned her life around. Yeah.
I mean, we're hearing about how much of a hustler you are. I mean, you were born to be a hustler. It's like it's in your genes. And
not everybody's a real hustler. Like,
yeah.
Some people actually front like they can hustle, but they really don't.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta actually, and I feel like where your story is from, right? You got a story that you didn't let that break you from moving forward.
For sure.
Like, you still went and followed your dreams, play football and everything else. Like, you hear it from most like other people or hip hop artists or whatever. Like, what was it? I think Boosie. Boosie was supposed to play basketball.
Yeah.
But he went to the street.
Yep.
There was another guy too. I can't remember who.
Yeah, a lot of them fall short, man. I think for me, like, shout outs to my mom, because my mom always prepared me for life without her, right? So I was always like, I always kind of had this mindset of being, what do you call it? I was just self-motivated, and then I wanted, to live a nice life. So football was like the ticket to get out of the hood, right, per se. But when I went to college, Hampton University is a historically black college. And that's where black excellence is at, man. You talking about senators, kids go there, actors, man. I went to school with a bunch of people that was wealthy. And that's when I really started to see, like, man, I can do more than just football.
Did you ever, so like when you were in that college around those wealthy people, did you ever Did you ever pretend like what happened to you never happened? Or did you always be like, no, this is my story, this is who I am? Like, did you stay true to yourself?
No, I always stay true to myself, and honestly, I couldn't avoid it. Like again, when I graduated, the day that Bill Cosby was going to be honored, man, the Today Show, Good Morning America, was calling my cell phone. So I'm 18 years old. I'm getting driven out in a limousine to New York City to get on state, on with Katie Couric, Matt Lauer, right back in
God damn.
2004, and bro, I'm like, what is going on, man? I'm a cat from the hood.
So you never told me you was on the Today Show. I feel like every time when I talk to you, I learn more about you. Like the
So
other
yeah,
day,
yeah.
so when he mentioned that he's Puerto Rican, about a month or two ago, we were both working here in the Orlando office. He had a serious call, and he was in this same office that we're in. I was in the other room doing whatever, and all of a sudden, I'm hearing somebody speaking Spanish. I'm like, who's speaking Spanish?
Yo, who else is in here?
Yeah, like I literally thought at some point somebody was in here, but then I heard because Logo, you got bass in your voice,
Yeah,
bro.
for
Like
sure,
you're gonna
for
know
sure.
it, and I'm like, there ain't no way he's speaking Spanish. Like I don't know if he pulled up something on Google and he
Yeah,
read it or what,
yeah.
but he was speaking it fluent, and I was like, yo, I learned something new like every time about you.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. That's funny, and that's what I tell people, man. For me, like, so my mom's Puerto Rican, so shout out to mom again, like Puerto Rican. Arroz con gandule, puede comer todo eso,
See,
right?
there you go.
There it is. I had to hit him. I had to hit him with it because you got to show the people, right? They're like, nah, man, I need receipts. But I've always been like humble, bro. Like for me, like it was like humility, man. It was like, yo, I want people to like me for me. I want you to laugh. I want you to be my homie. I don't want to be like, yo, I'm this, I'm that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's always been like, I'm not going to flash and flaunt. Like, yo, I've been on this, I've been on that. Because to me, that's flaunting. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is who I really am. So I've always been like that. And it's funny you say that because people, again, even high school, right? Like, high school, I'll tell you the story about, I was at UMass and I was looking to go to UMass. And the lady said, when you're writing your personal statement, make sure you talk about adversity. Now, I didn't know what adversity was. So when they were eating lunch, I went up to them and said, what is adversity? And she said, challenges, like overcoming challenges. I said, bet. Well, my mom's in prison. My dad ain't around. I was homeless. Got my own apartment. I'm an honor student. Is that adversity? Overcoming adversity? She's like, what? And bro, mind you, this is my senior year. And she said, how long you been homeless? And I was like, since I was 14 to ninth grade. My guidance counselor starts crying because she's like, I've known you all these years and I never knew that you were going through this. So to your point, for me, it's always been like, bruh, I'm not gonna make excuses. I'm not gonna blast and share all the stuff. Like even like the bonus money and stuff. I don't flash none of that stuff, man. I'm very humble. I'm a giver. I'm a believer, right?
If you such a giver, you gonna let me wear that for the event tonight or what?
Man, I don't know about that. That part, yeah.
Where you see yourself taking this mortgage thing long term?
Man, honestly, another part of my mantra, I see myself creating $100 million in business, mortgage business. Right now we're in 31 states. And that 100 million, I break it down, how much do I got to do per month? And then how much do I got to do per week? And then, I'm very big on analytics. So it's like, okay, I got to output calls. Like everybody knows, man, I'm always on the phone. I'm making calls.
Whether he's bilingual, so
yeah, bilingual.
you
right?
need both of them. You got
All of
everybody.
that. I'm from the streets. I can talk to some people that ain't got nothing. Then I can talk, corporate. I can talk, hey man, how's it going? I switch it up on it, right? Chameleon. President of the Rotary Club, sit on a board, for a bunch of different nonprofit organizations, and I just know how to adapt. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, okay, where can I help people? And that's the main thing. It's like it's not even about the money. We are helping people get finance to get into the home. And for some of them, first time home buyers. Just had a closing last week. Single mother. Got her a home. $277,000 home. She only had to come out of pocket $84. $84.
I think I saw that too. I was like, what do you mean? It was I called you and I was like,
yo, how did you do that?
About? It's only
because of the way I
dude.
negotiated the structure of the deal, because I'm also a realtor. I don't promote that. But I help realtors.
It's good to have the knowledge, too.
Good to have the knowledge. And I help realtors negotiate the deal. So in the back end, I'm negotiating the deal because I know what they need financially. So I help the realtors. I help them. I've been in sales for over 20 years. Hustle, right? So I'm a sales coach. business coach. So I offer that as a free service to realtors to say, look, let me help you with the business. Let me help you with sales. And in return, we'll collaborate and do business together.
Right.
So I see myself just growing this thing, helping Raj and Fluent Mortgage just scale to like the highest level. I want to be a top producer. I got big dreams, man. I want to help people.
Nah, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? I want to do something like what Bill Cosby did. I really do.
Nah,
you know?
facts.
You ever try to like cross over, like, you got the football history, try to talk to like football NFL players, Tampa Bay?
Absolutely, bro. Listen, absolutely. So it's funny you say that, right? So a lot of guys I went to college with made it to the NFL. Some of them played. Shout out to Kendall Langford. Shout out to Marcus Dixon, Jerome Mathis, Justin Durant. These are cats I played with at Hampton. Made it to the league. Jaguars, Cowboys. My homeboy Marcus right now is the defensive line coach for the Dallas Cowboys. The starting center that I was behind as a backup, he's the head coach for Memphis. And then another cool story in January, my football coach that helped me all through high school see that I'm doing mortgages and real estate, reached out to me because his son was the backup quarterback at Virginia Tech, and he had an NIL deal for like $500,000, 600,000. So reached out to me, said, look, I want to put some of that money in for real estate. Look for a deal. Let's make something happen. Well, in January, we was able to close on a 4-unit apartment complex down in Palm Bay, Florida.
Oh, sweet.
And so was able to close that deal for him, helped him out, negotiated everything. And now he's got a multifamily, and we're about to do 2 more deals in October.
Nice.
So NIL deals, that's big. Like my big thing is to connect with college football players who got NIL money. Reach out to Low. Loans with Low. Let me help you structure a deal. Use some of that funds. Go ball out, have fun, get the cars. But put something into real estate.
Definitely.
I agree.
Yeah, man. I mean, you could tell, if you can't tell already, this guy, like we said in the beginning, legend.
Yeah, definitely.
Story. Legend, and we didn't even know how much of a legend he was when we sat down. And now he's even more of a legend.
My man.
We got this event today, so I mean, it's not gonna be the longest episode, but I mean, I definitely think we probably gonna have to.
We gotta bring.
Yeah,
we're
no, I mean, we're
sure.
gonna have. Yeah, we gotta get ready to go downstairs. But just before we leave, Lo, you do have a podcast that you're starting yourself in the Palm Bay area, right?
That's right, man. So in my home, I got a home studio, Desire to Dream podcast. I wrote a book. I'm an author, and the name of the book is Desire to Dream. You can get the book at desiretodream.com. And I created this podcast, and the purpose of the book is everyone has desires. Everyone has this, I want to do something, right? I have these dreams, but something happens along the way. We all, like, life be lifing, right?
Yeah.
And life be lifing. And so the dreams get killed due to the slave jobs, right? Working, grinding, got to support my family. So I wrote this book, and I got this podcast to help people get back to that inner child. Let's tap back into what your dreams, what your beliefs is, because it's in your past. It's all internal. Like, your future isn't ahead of you. Your future is inside of you. So dig deep inside and see, what is it that God created me to do? And am I doing that? Because most of us are struggling. Most of us are frustrated. So if you're struggling and you're frustrated, it's because you're not walking in your purpose. But I'm not telling you to quit your job. I quit my job because I had that money to live off of, right?
Yeah. I mean, you made sure you was
made sure I was
spot.
secure, because I got 2 children. I got a wife, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to my wife, my honey boo, you know what I'm saying? Dr. Wilder. She got a doctorate degree, and she's a mental health counselor. Appreciate that.
There you go.
But, my wife, man, was able, I said, look, honey, you trust me, you believe in me, and boom, made the move. But now I'm living in my purpose, and everything's coming together. So I appreciate that.
Nah, of course, man. So I think we're going to have to cut this one short. You'll see some content from Debonair coming up soon.
Let's go.
Yeah, but I mean, hopefully, if you
I'm always
come back and
available,
do this
bruh.
again, maybe you'll have us on yours.
I think he'll come back. I mean, hopefully we go back on his too.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Yeah.
You'll see stuff like Avery said from the event today at Debonair. But signing off. This is the Marketing Main Podcast. Thanks again, Lo.
No doubt.
Signing out.
Take care.
Peace.